Hey,
How was your weekend, sir?
it was all right.
Who you play with?
I actually was off this weekend.
What? That's unusual.
Super unusual.
Super, super unusual. When you were Stefan, when y'all going out again?
Uh, uh, I play with Stefan at Rosa's. I don't know when we going out again. I think he got a lot of stuff coming up this summer, but
Okay.
I don't know when we're going out.
I gotta get him sitting down for an interview.
Yeah, Steph is cool.
Yeah, definitely is. Okay. So for the recording purposes, state your name and what you do and all this shit.
I'm Dionte McMusic. I am a professional stripper. No, let me stop.
Hey, hey, hey. Do a little
No,
spin for me. Do a little spin for me.
that's disability stripping right there.
You and Ingrid there.
Nah, all right, let me stop. Let me stop. You know this whole thing gonna be funny. But no, I'm Deontay. I'm Deontay McMusic. I'm a professional drummer.
Okay, what? Okay, so what is Skinner then? Deontay Skinner. What the hell is that?
Skinner, that's my last name. I don't go by that. Unless you
Oh,
writing me a check.
gotcha. Gotcha. That's important because Uncle Sam does not know Deontay McMusic. So
He is not yet anyway. Not yet anyway. I don't got no aliases.
that's important. That's important. Okay, so you were a drummer. How long you been doing that?
Uh professionally, about 9 years now.
Okay. You
Eight,
sure?
9 years.
You sure? You don't even know.
What you say?
I said you don't even know.
I I started. I got out the military 2013. So I consider, yeah, like 2015, since 2015.
Okay, that's what's up. So you got out the military. What branch was you in?
Navy.
Why you go military?
Why?
Mm-hmm.
Uh, cause my daddy was messing with me about a job that I in school that I didn't want to do.
Okay.
So I just left.
What was your MOS in the military?
Girl, you ain't gonna believe this.
I really.
They let me handle people money.
Hell no.
So if you had a problem with your check, you came to me.
Oh shit.
Pretty much, I guess, yeah, pretty much like HR for my ship.
Okay. Did you enjoy
Yeah.
it?
It was okay. It was for what it was. It was an experience. It was it was what it was.
Okay. Did you travel a lot or no?
Yeah, I got to travel a little bit. It was yeah, it was cool. I think I can't even remember what. That's funny. I was just trying the other day to remember places that I had been and trying not to mix them up with the places in the military. I was like, that I've actually traveled more as a drummer than when I was in the military.
Oh wow.
So
That's what's up. That says a lot. That says a lot. Of the all the places you've traveled, what would be one of your favorite places?
uh by far my favorite place that I'm going again this year. I feel like I spoke this up, but Lugano, Switzerland.
Oh, for real.
I love Switzerland is beautiful in itself, but
It
Lugano is crazy, like crazy. Like I can't even explain it. Especially where they I just want the same room that they had me in last time. I was right off the lake. I could see the other mountains across the lake. I slept with
oh,
my door open.
nice.
You know, you ain't sleeping with your
Not in the city. No.
I
No,
slept with
sir.
my
No,
door open
sir.
like 3, 4 nights.
That's what's up. Okay, I gotta look at that one because I have been to Bern. Bern
Bern
is
is great.
gorgeous.
Yeah, Bern is beautiful.
Bern is gorgeous, and I've been to Zurich, but I have not been to Lugano. Okay, gotta check that out. That's what's up. Okay, so let's get to the blues. How long you been playing the blues?
Oh, I guess how long the blues been playing me?
That's I don't want to get philosophical. And you ain't even high right now. And you ain't smoking shit.
That's so funny. But I guess it's been since I started 2015. Uh, like I said, I got out the military in 2013. I tried to play some blues in 2015, but everybody was gatekeeping at the time.
Um,
It took forever. So I mean not forever. I kind of learned kind of quick, but
okay.
since 2015, pretty much.
Okay, so like a majority of some of the folks that's in the scene, did you before you did the blues, did you start in a church or anything?
I played at church a little bit, but it wasn't like it was just like growing up like some 2B stuff. I wasn't like gigging at church like that. I ain't really take drumming like super serious until my stepdad died while I was in boot camp.
Okay.
So it was just I don't know. Everything just fell in place at the right time.
Right. Gotcha. So playing a mixture of going back and forth between the church and the blues, because folks like to separate both of those worlds and everything.
Hmm.
What is your thoughts on that? Do you actually think that those are two separate entities or do they all mesh together?
I honestly think they meshed together because even though I wasn't playing in church like that, my stepdad played blues, and to me, he wasn't like a church drummer. Like his feel was different. Like I'm like, man, like that sounds so. Like I understand like what you playing, but like your feel just when I listen to other guys and I'm like, nah, they church, like they straight church, but
Right.
blues definitely got its own way of talking to you though.
Yeah. So what do you mean by that? What you mean by that?
I don't know. It's a feeling. I tell people all the time. I can't describe the blues to you. You gotta feel it. It's just it's a feeling thing. Like it's something that once it hits you, it hits you.
So how would you separate that from because folks on the church side be like it's a spiritual thing, you gotta feel it. So what's the difference?
uh it really is really similar. It's just I guess it's just about your walk in life at the moment. You
Yeah.
choosing uh I don't want no Christian bashers. But you choosing I
Go
guess you
ahead and
almost
say it. We
choosing
gonna get hating regardless. Go
you
ahead.
know you choosing what you feel is the lesser of two evils.
Okay.
So I mean, some people they feel like, hey, I'm here, I'm do what I want to do. I'm gonna play these blues, I'm listening to these blues, and some people they done been through some stuff and they like, hey, I want to get my life right. And
Right.
that's how they feel. I mean, it's so close. It's hard to. I guess it's just the stories that they talking about, which what make it different. They talking about loving God, and on this side they talking about loving your man. Like,
And hey, you got some folks say that Jesus is their man. So I mean,
yeah, I mean,
what's the
yeah, it
difference?
just depends. It just depends on how people look at it.
But no, you make a good statement, and that's actually one of the things that I want to hit home with just some of these interviews and the work that I'm doing, particularly with this documentary, is talk about how there is very much a crossover with the secular and non-secular, the blues and church world religion and all that other stuff. But nah, you hit it on a point with that, which is saying that and it depends upon where your walk is and what you're feeling and experiencing. Because I even know particularly with the Chicago sound. And I'm gonna ask you some questions on that. But with the Chicago sound, particularly when you go historically, Thomas A. Dorsey was the one that came in and set up the
Mm.
church choirs and all that other stuff. And his background came from the blues.
Right.
So there's a lot of that layover within the Chicago sound at large. But there is, even on the church sound, you can call it gospel blues or whatever have you. It's still music.
Yeah,
Um,
yeah. I think that it really, to be honest, it probably was a bunch of people who was just outcasts that just
yeah,
like
yeah,
they were just like, hey, I just it's I like I said, it's just so like how you walking in your life at the moment. Like,
yeah.
all right, you out here in these streets and you ain't trying to be at nobody church, or you done got locked up 3 4 times, now you in jail, you done end up playing church and somebody done walked up and put some words to it, but you like, dude, stop cussing. And they like, nah, bro, like
That's
this
what I'm feeling.
is right.
Yeah. But nah, that's a good point. The Chicago sound. So since you traveled as a musician, and I'm sure you heard the Texas blues, the Tennessee blues, the St. Louis blues, what is the Chicago sound?
Uh, I'm honestly still trying to figure that out. One
Okay.
thing I do know that we got over a lot of people, we extra. Like Chicago, and that ain't like always extra in a bad way. Just
Okay.
we we not afraid to take musical risks.
Okay.
Like, and I think that's especially in gospel. But as far as blues go, I think that we had so many musicians here at I wasn't living back then. This is my,
Right.
opinion. I just think we just had so many people here that they just it was so much stuff coming from over here, from down south, from this way, from that way. Once they all got together, it was just like, hey, I got all these ideas. All we got to find some way to put it together. So to me, I just think when I hear Chicago blues, I hear like big arrangements, big band sound, horns. You got background dancers. You got people. You know what I'm saying? It's just a
Right.
big thing, like flashy. The Texas Shuffle is cool. It's I really don't. I ain't no guitar player. I hear people say that all the time. Like, oh, it's in the guitar playing. It's in the backbeat. Yeah, most of these drummers that people like from up here, all that stuff that they hear, Lil Milton, Sam Belo, and all them, they 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 jazz people. They just playing what they felt like,
Right.
and all
Right.
it's like you just started it. So that's what people said was like, hey, this is it at the time. But I feel like if they grew up in our era, they'd be playing some other stuff too. Like,
Mm-hmm.
they not just gonna sit and be complacent. It's too much information out here for you to just. That's why I hate when the old heads be like, ah man, you overplaying. Nah, I really think back in the day, and a lot of people gonna hate me for this, but I and I still experience this now. If you can't play, just say that. Like, I'm sorry. If you can't play, say that. I could be Scottie Pippen to your Michael Jordan, however far your Michael Jordan go. You know what I'm saying? Like, but I'm so tired of people like, oh, you overplaying that. That ain't no blues. Bruh, how you gonna tell me how I feel?
Mm-hmm. Right.
Like, I woke up angry today. This how I felt like playing.
Right.
All over the place. All over there. All over what you play. I don't care. I felt like that. I felt angry today. You felt like a drunk. That's on you, bro. That's on, I'm sorry.
No, that is real. The old heads talking about that because a lot has changed and progressed since the elders have been on the scene, and even progression in terms of technology where we are, where we have the beat pads and all this other stuff.
Mhm.
How do you feel when they talk about, you say, if you came drunk to the set, that's on you. They ain't gotta. How do you feel about that?
I don't like because I don't like it because in my mind I know it's some stuff that you when you was growing up you wanted to experiment with. you wanted to take Prince and try to figure out some way to, even though he was already doing that, but
Right.
you wanted to do some, you heard some of them songs and you want, oh man, that'll fit cool in a blues song or just a little segment. Like, don't hinder somebody else creativity just because your creativity not there or just because you don't see that. Like, and if it's wrong, let us figure it out. It might be something you can tell me that I can incorporate your thing with my thing. But
Right.
I don't know that if you don't, if you just no, it's wrong. Like,
Mm-hmm.
bro, chill, bro. So I see that so much. No, you ain't playing that. And then now that I'm out here, I was just literally telling one of J-Mo this. It's so funny that when I first started, I could play some stuff and they be like, hey man, hey, no, don't do that again. Now that everybody know me or I'm looked at as, oh, Dionte, he can play. I can go on some of these gigs that I did back in the day and play the same bullshit.
Mm-hmm.
And they be like, oh man, that was great. It wasn't great 8 years ago.
Right.
It's the same bullshit.
Right.
But all of a sudden, I don't understand it sometimes, man. I don't. I don't. I don't.
No, I like that point because in my conversation that I had with J-Mo, something similar came up and we were talking basically how the elders and there's some clash between some of the younger folks, within our age group and even younger, and there's a lack of respectability that the elders, for the most part, show to the younger generation because, like you said, they've stagnated themselves and where they are.
Yeah.
They don't want to push themselves, and then where we are now with hip hop and the various many subcategories of hip hop, they're trying to like, oh, that don't sound right, oh, that don't make sense, but it's our version of the blues. It
Yeah.
updated what we're doing. So because particularly coming from Chicago, but then also when we've traveled the world, we have mesh, you've been to China and Japan. I think you've been to Japan, right?
I have not been to Japan. Well,
We
I
going to
flew there,
Japan.
but I'm gonna
We
say
going
I
to
haven't.
Japan. We going to Japan. But you've heard all these sounds that you've integrated them within your plan and stuff. And because they, for the most part, have been stagnated or stayed in Chicago or just within the surrounding areas, they don't know how to those sounds mesh well and stuff like that. So
Mhm.
yeah, I mean, a question for you would be, with all of your experiences and now coming from Chicago and being exposed to multiple sounds with nationally, but then also on a global level, how do you think, let me backtrack. What do you think your experiences, from back in the day, would you have ever seen yourself in this space?
Uh, I don't know if I don't think I even saw myself in this space when I first started. I
Okay.
just I was just going for it, like it was just something I wanted to do. So I went for it. Like I dropped everything. So I,
And because of that, do you see the growth when yourself and how that has like peak pushed you further than folks that you started out with or who was around that era?
uh that's kind of like a will of the person type thing.
Mm-hmm.
Cause uh I know somebody who I started with and we not at the same place.
Okay.
I'm gonna leave that there.
I'm gonna call in the names though.
Yeah, I know. No, it's another musician. We
Yeah.
literally we came we literally popped up around the same time. And actually, what's crazy is he actually got put on before I did.
Okay.
And I had the person that hired him come to me and tell me like, hey man, if I knew now what I knew, what if I knew now what I knew, what I should have known back then, I'd have hired your motherfucking ass.
That's what's up. That's real.
And I'd be like, but we didn't. We did it.
But no, I think it speaks a great deal to the drive and the passion that you have to do what you do. Like you said, you stopped everything you went for. So that speaks a great deal to that.
That ain't for everybody though. I ain't
Right?
gonna lie. I'm
Right.
talking about sometimes you got. I had my uncle. It was weird, man. One of my uncle Jay Red. He was like, he asked me when I started. He said, "You all in?" And I was like, "Yeah, I'm all in." He was like, "You got to be willing to leave your girlfriend, your mom, and your kids." And I was like, "Nigga, what the fuck is you talking about?" What the fuck? But I understand it now to a certain extent. Like
Yeah.
I get what he was saying. You know, this definitely ain't for the weak at all.
No, it's not. Because even within experience, I think a lot of us, for the most part, they want the quick and happening to happen for real, real fast.
Yeah, and don't want to put no time in it. Don't they just want to? Oh, I can play. Why I can't? And that's another thing I had to figure out. Like that was a big thing for me. I was watching people, and I'm like, and I still have this problem to this day. I tell people all the time, like Chicago. There's so many people in Chicago that if they just got up and put a little bit more. Stefan just got here
Mm-hmm.
a
Yep.
couple of years ago
Yep.
and moving, but we ain't gonna talk about that. But I was telling if we could just put a little bit more effort, like it don't even have to be a whole lot, just a little bit more. It's so many bands that's out. When I be out on the road, I be like, how in the fuck
Right.
is you the headliner?
Right. Right.
The fuck?
Right.
And but I started even before I got out here like that. I started like watching people playing drums, and I'm like, damn, how the fuck is you playing for this person? Like, not realizing like it's just one little thing that they do good and they do it well, or it's just two little things that they do good, they do it well, and they that's all you need to do. It ain't you could be the most extravagant drummer, but that don't mean nothing if you can't play with everybody else and make the whole thing sound good.
Right.
So I had to learn that fast. Like, all right, it ain't about me. It's a bigger story, a bigger picture here. You know what I'm saying?
Right. No, I think that's real because I even think about when I came back to Chicago for a period of time and I came to the blues scene and when I first met you guys and some of the people that was out there and I was like, oh, what the hell? What the
Who is
hell?
this? Who you know this lady? And I'm like, man, look, you don't know. You finna find out, Angie.
Seriously, and I found out. Indeed, I did. And I realized that particularly in Chicago, like has very, very much talent there, but if you don't have the passion and drive, and to stick with it, and then also one of the things that I certainly have learned about this industry, but also, within other aspects, it's about networking. It's about getting out
I
there.
was literally just finna say, I was finna say that, but in a different way. I was finna say people be out here kissing ass, but kissing the wrong ass.
It's the wrong one. Yep.
I'm
Yes,
talking about
indeed. Yes,
kissing all the
indeed.
wrong ass. And they, oh, this person is this, and this. Like you don't really be talking to that person, do you?
No.
Because you could like the first three sentences they told you it was just bullshit,
Mhm.
bullshit. Like,
And we
bro,
good at that. Chicago, now Chicago, I tell you that we good at bullshitting some shit.
I call it the city of the gift of gab. They can talk. We can talk the panties off of none.
Hello.
I'm trying to tell you.
Who are some of the most significant names, whether inside Chicago, outside Chicago, that has influenced the work that you do?
Uh, really, really, my own. I ain't gonna say my only influence, but the reason like I said, the reason I started all this because of my stepdad.
Okay.
Like we was close. I played, like I said, I played drums when I was younger, but it was like him, like, and really he was the one that got me like on playing in church. He was like, "Hey man, you know your son can play drums." Like, well, look, we finna get the we finna build the church up. start going to get him from his daddy crib. He can come over here and play drums. I'm gonna sing. And I'm like, all right, now, now like I'm playing a little bit, but I'm still not around like all the Chicago guys for me to be like, ah man, like this what I want to do. Like I'm still like, playing drums is cool. Like
Mhm.
I'm still thinking of it as just it's a cool thing. I ain't thinking about no money, traveling, none of that at the point. So, but like I said, if I don't think if I would have never met him, I don't think I would have been. Because to be honest, the family that raised me, look, they was on some. Hey, boy, you smarter than that. Why don't you go to school and be a doctor or something?
Right.
And I'm like, how the fuck you tell me I can do whatever I want to do, be whatever I want to be, and I'm telling
I'm
you,
telling you, this is what I want to do.
this is
Yeah.
what I want to do, but y'all ain't helping me.
Mm-hmm.
So shit, that was a big influence in itself because I love to be told, kind of like how I got started. When so many people tell me no, I can't do something, I'm gonna be like, fuck that.
You're gonna prove them wrong.
Yeah.
Yeah. Who are some of